Cody Glass, on the other hand, I don't see him having the eye test or the data right now.
Wow.
Looking at watching him on the ice, I think he has lost his confidence.
Okay.
Now I know the injuries, but I think he's lost his confidence. I think when he gets the puck, he has less time to do with it than what he wants to, and he is slow to make decisions. I think and that's probably because he's not getting the puck very often. He's down on his ice time. His ice time's a little bit less, 5-on-5 ice time.
Right.
He's not getting the power play time he was last year. He had a lot of power play time last year, especially late in the season, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I also looked at this. Any idea who Cody Glass's most common line mate was last year? Any guesses?
No. Not off the top of my head.
Matt Duchene.
Oh.
He played almost 300 minutes with Matt Duchene last year. His most common line mate this year, Juuso Parssinen.
Okay.
And Jakub Trenin.
Okay.
And Philip Tomasino. Those are the top three. So Parsonen's going through his own development struggles, right? And
sure.
Jakub Trenin, I think, is actually a good example of a guy who kind of has found it. And this is what I wanted to say about Glass is I think of Glass as kind of he's at a crossroads, I think, in terms of his development. Now, he's only 24, but I think he's kind of got to decide what kind of player he wants to be. Not that he doesn't have a lot of options, but he does need to kind of figure out, okay, do I want to try to really upgrade my offensive skills and become that puck possession player like a Tommy Novak or even like my Kyle Granlund type, like a really skilled passer that has great vision,
right?
Which he could do. Or do I want to go the Colton Sissons route and just be the most tough-nosed, physical center on the dot, in the middle, penalty kill, beat you to pucks, Cole Smith type, McCarron type, like that kind of guy?
Yeah.
Because I do think he has to pick.
I think you're right. You can't. I don't know that he can be both.
I don't think he can be both. I think he's not quite that level he's not a Patrice Bergeron level,
Yeah.
He's not a Mark Scheifele who he idolized growing up. Like he's a great talent. I just think he's at the point where he needs to pick kind of like what he wants to be. And I'm a big Cody Glass fan.
Right.
Love the guy.
Yeah.
Love talking to him. He's one of my favorite guys to talk in that locker room.
Yeah.
I just think he's struggling right now, and he needs to find it. I think and I really hope he does. I hope he figures out kind of what kind of player he's going to be, and is able to overcome that.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I agree, and I'll address the Cody Glass situation first. I think the biggest thing with Glass, I went back and I looked at, if you recall, 21-22 regular season AHL, Cody Glass had the most points for the Admirals up in Milwaukee with 62 points. He did that with a shooting percentage of 8.5, which I thought was interesting because
was it a lot of volume? He's shooting a lot.
Yeah, a lot of shots.
Yeah,
and then when I look over at what he's done this season as well as last season, he's just not shooting as much.
Yeah, shots are down.
But even last season, 72 games, 131 shots. I mean, shooting percentage of 10.5 maybe.
I think that's about right. 10.5. I think he's probably 10% shooter
right now. And again, a small sample size. 4.
Yeah, no, it's bad. Look at this. He has 23 shots on the year. He's only 14 games. Luke Shin has 13.
Yeah, that should tell you something.
In 13 games.
Yeah,
So yeah, he needs more shots. But that goes back to the issue. Like he's not getting the puck enough. I think he's probably being used. I mean, he's like we just said, his line mates are Parssinen and Trenin. He's getting a lot of defensive draws, and he kind of last year kind of became a guy that was more of a I'm going to play against the top forwards and try to shut him down. Remember that Connor McDavid game, the Oilers. He did a great job in that game.
Great job.
But I wonder if the pressure to become a more offensive forward. He's got 2 points now in the season, right? He got a goal and assist, and just barely got that goal last night.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the pressure to become an offensive playmaker type, being that two-way guy, is just too much for him right now, especially overcoming the injuries he's had to overcome.
Coming back from an injury, and